Look, bro, I used to think that the battlefield in life was all around me. Fighting in the gym to get stronger and to build my body, pushing myself to make more money and seize business opportunities, beat out the competition. Even with other people, I would always think I have to command respect and I have to set strong boundaries when needed. And looking back, I was wrong. The battlefield is not around you. The real battlefield is right here, man. And here's what nobody tells you. You can win every single external battle. You could have the beautiful girl, be making millions, have the shredded body, be driving your dream car, and you can still feel like you're losing the war if your mind is in constant chaos. I've never told this story before on camera, but probably the darkest moment of my life was when I was 24 or 25 years old. And this is after I had conquered my fear of talking to women, and I'd gone on this tear for the last 2 or 3 years, hooking up with a bunch of different girls. I'd just broken up with my second girlfriend, which, by the way, was a goal of mine for many years that I never even thought I would achieve, having a girlfriend, let alone 2 beautiful girlfriends. And this is when the homie Dave and I moved to Spain. And for a month or 2, I went to this dark place where I didn't understand why I kind of hated myself so much and why everything felt so meaningless, because I achieved the goal I always wanted to achieve, and still life felt empty. I was constantly stressed out about, but when am I going to hook up with the next girl? And I've had some success with online business, self-publishing these ebooks on Amazon, and I was making enough money to support myself. And even then, it just felt meaningless. I felt like I was in this constant state of anxiety. I'll tell you what happens next in that story later in this video. But the point is that I had spent years grinding, believing that once I achieved enough in life that I would earn peace of mind. But that's backwards, because peace of mind is something you need in order to win. You need peace of mind before you can win. It honestly reminds me of that scene in The Last Samurai, which has got to be a top 3 movie of all time, where Tom Cruise, Captain Aldrin, he's getting his ass beat down every day by these samurais, and then he learns the secret of no mind.
Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the sword. Mind the people what? Mind the enemy. Too many mind. No mind.
No mind.
He learns that he must achieve true inner peace and quiet his demons. And then that's when he escapes this deep, dark depression of self-hatred and evolves very quickly into a legendary warrior. And that is why in this video, I want to show you the specific techniques I used to eliminate all of that mental noise so that I could win faster in life. And even more important than that, I could finally have true peace of mind and still enjoy life, even on the bad days. Bro, if you're tired of the constant mental warfare, anxiety, and that constant feeling that you're just not doing enough, then pay attention, because this might be the most important video that you see this year. All right, so the first thing you need to understand is the achievement paradox. So as men, I think we can all agree that we have this natural aggression inside of us. It's that feeling, that makes you feel like you were meant to achieve more in life and you weren't meant to just have an average, mediocre life. But the thing is, this same energy that pushes us to compete and to succeed, it can also f you over if you don't know how to control it. Think about it, bro. You wake up every day with this raw energy inside of you. It's pent up inside of you. You want to use it to improve, and sometimes you do. You go to the gym and you exert yourself there. But sometimes maybe you fap off to some porn and some of the energy goes into that. Other times you get all of this mental chaos inside of your head, overthinking what you should be doing, and you start to procrastinate and waste this valuable energy on tasks that lead nowhere. Picking your fingernails, starting 3 businesses that go nowhere, overthinking what you're going to text a girl next. If you're like me, and this is making sense to you, you're relating to this, you got this restless energy inside of you, then listen up. The most important change that I ever made was to adopt what I like to call the masculine peace framework. So let's go back to that dark place I was in when I was living with the homie Dave in Spain, kind of hating myself. Life was feeling meaningless. So in an attempt to change something, for the first time in my life, I tried meditation. And it's crazy because I actually went on a streak for 6 months that started while I was in Spain, meditating every morning for 10 minutes. And it was kind of out of desperation and just trying to do something different. But for the first time in life, my goal each day became to have peace of mind and to catch myself when I was being neurotic or stressing out about random shit. So for the first time, no longer was I focused on like, how do I make more money? Luckily, the homie Dave and I were living very cheaply. We had paid off an Airbnb for a few months, so I wasn't so worried about money. And after the last breakup, I kind of wasn't worried about women that much anymore. So it led to this unique situation where I actually prioritized over my goals, or my goal became meditation and peace of mind. And the crazy thing is what happened next, because I started the YouTube channel up the last few months I was in Spain, and then I moved back to Boston. And it's like by forgetting about my goals and focusing on peace of mind, I primed myself to have the craziest comeback of my life, where the YouTube channel progressed pretty quickly up to 1 million subscribers. And then it led me to launching Edge Lifestyle, the Beastly app, and these different businesses that are making me, multiple 7 figures per year. But it only happens because for the first time in my life, I was not approaching these goals from a place of lacking and anxiously trying to make something happen as fast as possible. I was approaching the goals from true peace of mind and true equilibrium with my emotions. I was focused, I was grounded, and I was ready to fucking dominate. And that is the masculine peace framework. You have to reframe peace of mind, not as something that would be nice to have in your life, but you need to reframe it as a masculine priority. The same way you want to make money and have female companionship and do a bunch of dope shit in life, even above that, you need to start to prioritize peace of mind. This might sound kind of strange, but my competitive advantage in life is my ability to control my emotions. I don't have some crazy discipline or some crazy gift that I was given. I've just learned that by staying calm, especially when things aren't going my way, I can just slowly keep making progress. Whereas I see most guys around me who started at the same level as me, at some point, they fucking freak out and self-destruct because they don't prioritize this shit. And they get overwhelmed, or they try and do too much at once. And they take 1 step backward, 3 steps forward. 1 step forward, 3 steps backward, whereas I'm just steady taking half a step forward each year. The true OGs who've been watching this channel the past 8-9 years, you've seen that I've just progressively increased my level in life. I never have some crazy breakout year. I just stay calm and keep moving forward. Well, I gotta be honest, there is one thing that I am a bit neurotic about, and that is my skincare. Especially with the summer months here, the sun's beating down on my face. I don't want to end up with that wrinkly old man skin. And if you're someone who struggles with red skin, acne, or oily skin, then listen up, because the sponsor of today's video, Hanley, they've got you covered. Look, Hanley is straight up the best skincare system out there for men because it makes it simple to get clear, healthy skin that boosts your confidence levels. All it takes is a few minutes in the morning and a few minutes before bedtime. I recommend getting started with their level 1 system that has you covered with all of the essentials. You got your daily face wash, your twice per week exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 to protect against the wrinkles, and a PM moisturizer to use before bed. And to make it dead simple, every box comes with a simple instruction card that tells you exactly how much, in what order, and at what time to use each product. And don't just take my word for it. Trust the millions of guys who use Hanley with over 16,000 5-star reviews. Look, I know you're probably pushing yourself to build your body in the gym. You're pushing yourself to level up in your career. Do not forget about your skincare. And because Hanley is sponsoring today's video, if you click that first link in description, you're going to get a crazy deal, 40% off your first box, plus you'll get 20% off for life as a Hanley member, and they're even going to throw in a free gift that's worth $20 on its own. Do not wait, click that first link in description and level up your skincare routine. Now, check it out. Something that really fucked me up for years was the discipline paradox. So we all know who Ashton Hall is now. He's the bro with the morning routine. He wakes up at 4 a.m., dips his face in the ice water, meditates, does some journaling, dips his face in the ice water again, goes for a run, dips his face in the water again, gets his lifting routine in. And it's a pretty epic morning routine that, is he really doing it, or is it just for the content? But for sure it is good, easy to watch content. There's a big problem here though, because so many guys on self-improvement think that they need to prioritize discipline above everything else. I went down that path. trying to have a perfect morning routine and always control my habits and my schedule and my diet every day. And ultimately, I realized it did two things. First, it made me even more neurotic and anxious because I was just trying to control so many things every single day. And I'd get upset if I didn't hit my macros perfectly or if I didn't cold plunge. And the second thing I realized is that it really was just a convenient way to spend my raw masculine energy that made me feel productive, even though really it wasn't producing. These habits don't produce anything on their own. Y'all know my friend Max, who just sold his candy company Sour Strips to Hershey's for generational wealth. One thing about that man, other than being insanely successful, is he doesn't have any morning routine or any habits. He's not all focused on discipline every day. And that's just, he'll brag about it, by the way. I'm not talking shit, he'll brag about it. That's just one example that goes to show you don't need the habits in the morning routine to get to the end result. Now, for some of y'all, having that structure and that discipline, it is going to be very helpful for your situation right now. But if you're feeling like you're relating more to me and having this restless energy that you feel like you're constantly not doing enough, I've found that it's actually a lot more productive to have a more laid back daily routine. So, I'll wake up and sure, I'll drink my greens, take my healthy supplements. But after that, I'm either going to hop in a cold plunge or read the Bible, do something that grounds my anxious energy. But that's only, 10, 15, 20 minutes of my time. And then once I'm feeling calm, now I can go ahead and start my primary task for the day, which is maybe planning a piece of content, finalizing some designs for the next Edge collection. Then after 2 or 3 hours of grinding, I'll hit the gym for a lift. For me, that is enjoyable and it rejuvenates my energy. Then I'll go back to another primary task for the last 3 or 4 hours of the workday. And then at night, I'm going to relax. Unless I got some deadline I'm trying to hit, I'm probably going to sit out here with the dogs, watch a movie with Julia, enjoy myself. And for myself, I've found that having a more laid-back daily routine like this, it just allows me to stay more even keel emotionally and deal with all the different shit in life and continue to make small progress every day. Now, there is one thing that I do like to control, and that is preventing environmental chaos. Tell me if you can relate to this. You wake up, you walk out to your kitchen, and there's a dirty shaker bottle from yesterday. There's maybe an empty ice cream container, assuming you're bulking. There's a bunch of dirty dishes and bowls on the counter and in the sink. For me, immediately, I feel a bit stressed out. I feel a bit neurotic. And first of all, it can be an excuse for me to spend some of my energy cleaning that shit up. But second, it just throws me off center to start the day. So something I found very helpful is last thing before I go to bed to take 10 to 15 minutes to tidy up the house. I put the screens away, I put the phone away, and usually there's not that much to do because luckily I have a full-time professional female assistant living with me. Shout out to Julia, my wife. Now, that all being said, the most important single thing that you need to handle right now is what I call the peace hierarchy. There's 3 steps to this. Step 1 is to meditate every single day. Even if this is the entirety of your morning routine and you don't do anything else, bro, until I went through that phase of daily meditation, I was f***ed. There was nothing else that I was going to do in order to get over the anxiety and the mental agony that I was living in. Because you see, meditation, you have to look at it as practicing emotional control and practicing strengthening the power of your mind. It's essentially strengthening your mindset. And all you have to do is download an app like Calm is one that I used for a while. Headspace is another one. They do 10-minute guided meditations, so you don't have to think about anything. You just sit down, close your eyes, or lay down, close your eyes, and go through the fucking audio. If you take nothing else from my videos ever, please, bro, for the next 3 months, meditate every day. Make this your priority above everything else in your life. Even if you're missing workouts, I don't fucking care. Meditate every day. I can't stress this enough. Number 2, you need to actually implement the techniques you're learning through meditation during the day. Because basically how it goes in our life is we're calm and we're focused, and then some fucking thought plants itself inside of our brain, and then that thought starts to grow and create self-doubt. Maybe it's you see a hot girl on Instagram and you want to fap, but you don't want to fap, but you want to fap. Maybe it's that you're texting a girl, you're feeling confident, and you write out the text message, and then all of a sudden you start to second guess everything, like, oh man, this is going to be the text that loses me this girl. Maybe You have a plan to quit your career and learn a new skill so you can start working for yourself and have financial freedom. But then your boss or your mom says something to you, and then that thought, it creates doubt inside of your head. Maybe it's just starting to procrastinate and think about a bunch of random shit. The point is that in meditation, you're going to learn how to observe these thoughts, to label them, and to let them pass through you and not control you. Those 3 months in Spain, this was my focus all day long. I was literally just waiting for the next intrusive thought to hit my brain so that I could deal with it and move on to the next one. That's how I reached this high level of emotional control, this very low level of neuroticism, by practicing. In step 3, reduce your goals to one primary focus. And look, of course, we should always be pushing ourselves in the gym to improve our body, pushing ourselves in our career to make more money, and pushing ourselves with our relationships to enjoy other human connection with men, fellow brothers, and with female companionship. But what I've learned is that even if I'm working at all these things, I can only have one war going on at a time. For example, a few months ago when we were working on pushing through version 3.0 of the Beastly app update, that was my war. No, I didn't shut down Edge and stop going to the gym, but those things I was not focused on growing in. I was focused on automating those things and maintaining them while my primary war was being fought with the Beastly app. If you're trying to fight wars on 3 different fronts, you're trying to get shredded for the first time ever, you're trying to build your first business, you're trying to overcome your fear of women all at the same time, what happens when a country is fighting a war with 3 different fronts? It fucking loses, man. You can't divide your focus like that. So that being said, drop a comment below the video right now and let me know, what is the primary goal you're focused on for the next 3 months? Focus on that, grow there, in 3 months, shift to a different war front. That's the game plan. That's the war plan I've used, I'd say, pretty successfully over the last 5 years here. Now, if you want to see what my simple daily routine actually looks like, then you need to watch that video next. This is my daily routine to get shit done and actually enjoy life, even on the bad days. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there to subscribe, as I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.